So this is my first live webcast. So if I look like I don't know what I'm doing, it's true. And so, but we did an interview earlier using the mic, so a little bit of the play of this. So welcome to this satsang meditation. I like to call and include the meditation because even if we're talking and there's a sitting and even thoughts happening, it can still be very meditative. And we're also going to sit in some silence. There's sort of a form of how satsang with Canela has shown up over time. So I like to start just with talking about something or nothing. And then I'll offer some toning sounds. These sounds started occurring when I've been practicing and teaching Reiki. And so in sessions, these toning sounds started to just naturally show up. And then later, when I did some traveling and was traveling with Paul Lowe, he did it for the group, but he always did it at the end of the gathering. And I always felt, I was just so, loving these sounds that I wished he'd had done them at the beginning. And so when people started inviting me to offer satsang, I included it at the beginning. And the feedback is that it seems to support a relaxation. It also supports, because there's a sound, something's happening, then witnessing how the sound is with you. If you are witnessing how the sound is with you and experiencing it, you are being present. So it's kind of handy to start with something like that as well as they are very healing sounds, and they'll show up in the particular tone as is appropriate for right now. They just come through. So it's just to receive those sounds too, just so you know you don't need to be making toning sounds or allowing toning sounds to come through yourself. And then we have the space here for if you'd like to come up and connect directly and ask any questions or whatever shows up. So this is an opportunity if you want to bring in. I don't know if you saw the satsang little video clip where I invited people to bring disturbing things or occurrences. They're not really things, right? Because they're experiences, they're happenings. But we can, if there's something that's been occurring in your life and it repeats, we can look at it energetically. What I found is that the repeating, usually the energy, wherever it resonates in your body or you feel some sort of connection when you think of the story or the problem or whatever it is, however those details are showing up, and then we can access where they begin, and then just in opening and feeling that, it transforms that energy. And quite often, whatever the details that have been repeating will no longer repeat in your play of events in your life. So what it is it's opening to where they attach to the system, and feeling that transforms them, and it also embodies that energy. So it's no longer attempting to hold itself as separate. And it makes more sense when it actually occurs. It's kind of tricky to talk about it. So but the invitation is to you can speak of. It's not, this kind of satsang isn't about just the nothingness and the absolute and you are nothing and nothing's happening. Although that's all true, simultaneously what appears in this nothingness is this wonderful human being that you are. And that's what I love to include. And with this opportunity, this invitation that life has given us in being human, we throw wrenches in our own works, so to speak. And so I love to support people to find what they're up to in these apparent, what looks like dilemmas or frustrations or anything like that in your life. So.
Or physical?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. So yeah, when I say the system, I mean the body. So it can show up as a sensation or a recurring ailment. the energetic system, the thoughts, all of sort of what you've been given to tend to in this lifetime. That sort of that depicts the person. What's yours personally?
Can it be showing up in someone else too as a reflection of what's happening in us?
If it's disturbing you, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Perfectly. It's good. So that all said, something will show up or it won't after, but we'll start with the toning and to allow these sounds to come in to be with you. And you may want to have your feet both on the floor, or if you're comfortable cross-legged that way too, whatever feels comfortable. It's just that in crossing your legs, it shifts the energy meridians, so you want them as open, just so energy can flow. And for people also at home to, there won't be much to see. So this part, if you just receive the sounds as they come through your computer, and then we'll follow the sounds. There'll be about 4 or 5 of them, and then we'll sit in silence. There's a lot that can be said for the silence. Little bit of a pun, but so the silence speaks volumes. When I first started offering satsang, I didn't talk a lot. I didn't say very much because it seemed that the words, people could grab a hold of the words and make them into something, whereas the silence is pretty tricky to grab a hold of. So I still like to include some silence, and now this speaking, I've become more comfortable because it actually carries the silence as well, the words or whatever shows up. Yeah, so let these sounds be with you. And in the quiet part, what I like to invite is not practicing any kind of technique of meditation, like, vipassana or a mantra. If that shows up naturally, then that does. It's not to change something if it shows up in some way, but to be with just exactly how you are, the felt sense of the body, where you're sitting, the breath, the sounds. If there's thoughts, there's thoughts. Just notice if there's engaging in the thoughts or not. And if there is engagement, to bring your attention, awareness, to what's actually occurring here right now. And so the body's always a really easy place to access that because gravity holds us here. So we can find where our bodies meet, the floor or the chair. All right. Any questions about that? Or no? Now, there's quite a bit said in just explaining this form, so I'm going to leave speaking about some topic or other for now because it feels appropriate to just allow the sounds to come. Okay. So the space is available here. If someone would like to come up and explore something, some happening. This is more what I'm accustomed to as well. So the people out there can meet you if you sit over here. If you'd like, if that was. From here is okay though?
Pardon me?
From here?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Oh, so you...
I'm inviting you because the container is shaped this way of a webcast, you know.
So when you were talking before,
that end piece is a little touchy.
okay. I was looking at things that were reoccurring when you talked about the reoccurring, and just what came up is what's been going on with me right now, and and it is a reoccurring thing, but it's with my sinus. So it's constant pain just in one side.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it feels like it's some kind of stuck energy or something of that nature.
Okay. And it's present right now?
No, it's actually better today.
Oh.
I know.
Darn.
I know.
Where'd that pain go?
Right.
Right when we could just go right into it.
Right. It has been, like the past couple of weeks it's been bad, but today it's not.
Okay, so what is occurring right now? Is there anything that's happening that just shows up here?
See, that's the thing that came to me, and I can't think of anything.
And what about if you look through and just feel what's happening, and maybe just remaining in eye contact with me and just see what rises right here in the open space. Yeah.
I'm feeling very hot. Peaceful.
Mm.
I just feel a clear energy. I don't feel anything coming that I can identify with or
So empty.
empty.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
What can we do?
I don't know. I don't know.
Just being with this, yeah. It's not really. It's all right. Emptiness is okay.
Yeah.
Peacefulness.
Yeah. Yeah. In this moment, that's how it's feeling. I feel gratitude. Feeling I do feel a sense of grounded, kind of good feeling about just a spiritual connection. That since I used to live in California, and then when I moved to Chicago, I felt there was no kind of any kind of spiritual connection that I had here. So this feels really nice.
Just being here
Mm-hmm.
tonight.
Yeah.
Just relaxing in this.
Mm-hmm.
Nice sound. Sometimes that's all it is, right?
Yeah.
It's carried on the sound. Yeah. Lovely. Thank you.
Thank you
For braving this
yeah.
mic and everything
microphone.
and cameras. Ooh.
That was great for me.
All right.
I'm going to have to go up there and say, "Oh, I'll just do it."
Now is always good, yes. Works. This is your friend, the mic.
I meant you.
All of it's your friend. Yeah. Couch.
So I should ask a question, right? I got a million. I saw a number of your YouTube videos with your whole life story and all that. So I'm really glad I did, since there's not a lot of talking going on. I guess I'm kind of torn between stopping my life and doing whatever necessary to find peace. I mean, I even hate to say awakening because that sounds so... But I guess that would be it.
So what's happening right now as you say this?
I feel like I'm going to cry.
Yes.
I feel like I get...
Yeah. We have Kleenex.
Yeah.
It seemed like that rose in response to...
Yeah, I mean, lately, I go to work because I have to, and then I come home and I'm no TV, no just silence and my cat. And I thought I don't need to go anywhere or do anything because I know you don't have to do anything. I've seen a billion sad songs.
Yes. Well, you don't need to do anything unless you do.
That's what I'm starting to think.
Right? Because you as an expression of awareness is so uniquely just its own self. There isn't another one like you. So no one except you can say what the actual truth is for you. So sometimes it really is. It usually repeats itself if it's true, that maybe it is time to...
What do you mean usually repeats itself?
Will it occur to you, this idea of a spiritual searcher going to India, as you mentioned earlier, will keep repeating. It's like you and maybe feel a tug inside or some sort of draw towards that.
My whole life. And then I spent 5 years in Thailand just traveling. But I was in a monastery for a year. It was a Buddhist monastery. And there was never a notion that anybody could be enlightened. It was like really, trying really hard, getting up at 5 in the morning. And, the harder you try, the more likely it's going to happen.
Yeah, trying is happening.
And now all of it's, now that I've seen people like you, it's like, oh, it's, I just want to get zapped. I don't, And then I know you're not supposed to plan it and try it. But what you just said, I think, is my answer. Because I really feel this, I just got a lot of energy. And
if it feels right for you from your heart, then I can feel that it's
But connected. I'm scared to death.
Yes.
But I always do things that are scary, that scare me.
Yes,
and then I later on think it was the right thing.
Well, just as you speak about it, that it's like so much of you joins in with the speaking. What can you do? Right?
Yeah. And I, just thinking about it now, I know it's the mother in me, the responsible person that should keep working, and the nest egg keeps getting, should keep making it more being responsible.
And is that for you?
Oh God, no. I mean, I've done it, but now that my last one is gone, I don't need to do it. Yeah. But it's still, it's safety. It's, if you don't make a move, you don't make a mistake, kind of thing.
Except for the mistake of not moving.
Yeah.
And that's not a mistake either, until you're resisting yourself. Can be. But if it repeats, and what the heck, if it's not right, you can just come back.
We're going to die, right? That's what I keep thinking. It's like, it's not that, there's nothing that is that serious, really. No. But when I read or saw your story and you left and your kids and all that, it's like, wow.
Yeah. And I was really, prior to that, really hooked on the idea, I need to accept it all. I need to accept it all. And I kept on attempting to accept it all. And meanwhile, there was this pull that was just pulling, and it became choiceless. I had to let go. It wasn't an idea, or, it was like there was no doubt anymore that whatever all that was, I had to let go of it without knowing what it was. I was going toward. It came to that, but it took a couple of years from the moment that I recognized this space wanted to happen. I just wanted to let go of everything so I could see what the heck this was that was calling me inside so strongly. It had been present.
Did you lose the doubts once you were abroad or doing
once
it?
Once I took action. Started giving everything away. And taking care of details.
Yes, that's what I got to start doing. I mean, that's the first
if it
thing.
feels right? So it's that first step, and then you're on. You're just following the moment and whatever steps come next, because those ones were taken.
Yeah.
And who knows, right? It might only be that you get to the airport and that doesn't even feel right, and you'll go someplace else, or not.
Yeah.
It's just not hanging on to it as a picture, but keep following what your heart says to be true, and then landing with yourself, feeling again, what now? Oh, okay. This is true. It's true still. Seeing what the next step that rises.
I'm trying to stop my mind from planning it all and worrying about it all. And I'm a very good planner and implementer. And that just goes thrown out the window here.
Yeah. And it's checking in here. And planning can come, but step by step. Just the next step and just the next step. But the next step might be that it's selling the house. And that's a pretty big step that you can't go back because you've sold it to somebody else. I don't know how much they'd appreciate you showing back up and saying, change my mind or change my direction. But then it's trusting that, right? So when there are bigger steps like that. And then you can always go back. If you're living your life from what feels right here, anytime, there cannot be any regret. Regret can't happen, because anytime you look and you say, oh, what have I done or whatever, you can go back to that choice point moment, remember what you checked in with, and go, right, no, I would have made this decision anyway, because that's what felt right. And it's based on you yourself, so it comes home to you. So when you're living like that, it's really like you own your steps, because it's not based on anybody else, right? It's from the felt sense of your heart, your direction, what feels true. And that's empowering.
Yeah. I guess it's listening to other people, especially people who have no idea what any of this is about. And I feel like I'm crazy when I'm talking to them.
Yeah. No, when people, at that time in my life, before I let go of it all, what looked like worldly matters, including my children, if people were with me and I was saying why it was, what was happening inside me, they were fine and they could relate with it. But the minute they were away, they were by themselves and they left with just the headlines that I was leaving my children and my whole life. And that's when they would get, really upset about it. And that's what I noticed, that, and then they'd, oh, you can't do this, because somewhat it threatened them. For me to live what my heart said means that they could too. So when you step out like that, that's why often people might not be so comfortable about you stepping out like that.
Because you're not supposed to.
Well, it means they could too, and that's a brave thing to do, to step where your heart tells you at first.
But then at the same time, there's this voice saying you can do it anywhere, you don't have to. But I think what you said at the beginning is really it. I mean, it's my personality. It's just who I am.
Yeah. And if it's happening here, then okay, have it happen here.
Have what happened here? Leaving?
Whatever it is you're leaving for. If it's based on some sort of outcome, go for it right now, right? If the felt sense of the heart just says leaving is what's appropriate, then that's it. Who knows what's going to happen?
Well, I guess at the end of it is I have to do everything possible to be in a place where I've forced myself into a realization or at least calmness, or face myself. I don't know what's going to happen. But I do. I mean, I was there for a year in the monastery right after getting out of law school, and I was like I was like suicidal. It was crazy. And then after a while, it was very clear. I mean, I felt everybody else is, I looked at people in the airport. It was like they were, so I started feeling confident and peaceful. So I think, I know that will happen again. Or something will happen. Or I don't know what will happen. But it'll be okay.
Well, how are you feeling right now?
You mean in the couch or just in general every day?
Right here, right now.
I feel like I'm sounding a little scattered, and so I'm a little...
Well, you're judging what happened, okay.
I always do.
So the judgment happening, that's fine.
Yeah.
You don't need to believe it.
Right. I mean, that's why I say
unless you want to. What else is happening? Just as you're sitting here.
I feel strong, like I can do this. But I'm also afraid, and I think that's just part of it.
And where's the fear right now? Right there. Okay, would you like to just sit with this fear? Just say yes to it. Let's be with this.
Try and find it.
Well, you just found it, right? Can you feel it right now?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just relaxing the rest of the body, the system open, and just giving this fear some space to be here.
Not try to make it go away, just find it. Or just
totally let it be here, because it's here.
Yeah.
What's happening?
I'm breathing.
Mm-hmm. And this energy.
Like it's moving out.
Mm-hmm.
It's moving.
Mm-hmm. So it's, is it still fear? Is there, would you call it that?
I think it's changed from fear, but there's still a stuckness.
Oh, hello, stuckness.
Hello, stuckness. Okay. Yeah. I feel so eager to try and be something different.
Right, and here it is, stuckness happening.
Yeah, because that's not how you get there. Or at least that's not how it hasn't worked for me.
Until... How's the stuckness doing now?
It's okay.
Yeah? Does it have a shape?
I mean, I just kind of envisioned it as like a ball. But not, for some reason.
Whatever shows up, right?
Not with boundaries, but just like a fireball or something.
Okay. Fireball. Wow.
But then the whole thing is weird for me because I'm so Western and I'm so used to...
Yeah, are you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're feeling it though, right?
Yeah.
So the truth is it really all that hard?
I know, and I'm doing it.
It's happening. It seems to, from what you're telling me. You're feeling this energy. It's there. It's here with us. And just relaxing open to that.
Okay.
It's just energy, right? You can even take the word stuckness off the energy and just feel it as straight energy. It's in expression.
feeling all this tension in my face drop.
What's happening? There?
No, the mind's going around, and then I'm going back to being okay, and then...
Mm-hmm. And the energy that you pointed to earlier?
Yeah, I'm not really... I mean, I'm feeling a canal over my body. I'm not really feeling it in here now.
So if when you look there, is it there? Is it gone? Is it dissipated? What's happening?
I think it's going all over. I can feel just stuff happening, but not this ball anymore.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
It'll be back though.
I mean, your words are strong. Do you really know that?
Yeah, I know.
You do know that. You know that it'll be back.
Oh, I thought you meant your words are strong.
Hmm.
I mean, that's my experience.
Up until now, it's happened many times.
Yeah, I mean, you go into maybe a peaceful, better place, and then it comes back, just kind of like life, where it's...
So something might rise newly.
Yeah, rise what?
Newly.
That would be nice.
But it might be stuckness, right?
Yeah, so whatever happens.
But it's just nothing staying constant, right? It comes and it goes. So it doesn't actually come back because you've changed, everything's changed. All it is either here or not.
So you're talking about being in the present, huh? Yeah, I mean, in so many words.
Well, it's not here right now. When you look right now, is there an energy of stuckness that you can locate?
Okay. Not like before.
And I'm just suggesting that maybe you don't know if it'll ever be here in some familiar shape again. It may be, but you don't know. So your words were, it'll be back.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So if it's a good old friend that you feel comfortable with, then
it probably will be back.
If you know that, right? In the not knowing. It's just an openness that doesn't know. So something might occur to your mind, and it's like, and I don't know. I have no idea, really, if it'll ever show up again.
See, that is so, so hard for me, because I'm so...
Has been up until now?
Yeah. I want to know the ending. I want to know what's going to happen. I want to know where I'm going to meditate next, where I'm going to travel, and I got to lose it.
You're ready to let that go?
I would love to let that go.
Ah, lovely.
How?
Lovely. You just committed to it.
Okay.
Right? And then your way of letting this go will be your way. And it's in each moment you let it go, and you let it go again, and it comes maybe, and then you let it go. And remembering, right. You just said it out loud to the people that are here, as well as all the people and joined us on this live webcast. So that's a lot of awareness. Hearing you say that you're ready to drop that. Needing to know.
I am really. Yeah. I would love to.
Yes. So it's just relaxing, open, and it's coming your way. It'll be right now. Who knows? We don't get to know.
Yeah.
This is all there is right here. So we can invite something. Allow it to come.
Okay.
Bit by bit. Or however it's appropriate for you. That's how come you can't really look at somebody else and what's happened with them. Because they're a whole another ballgame, right? So, the only thing you have is what's right here with you right now, including all the details that are here. Nothing more, nothing less than exactly this. And it's uniquely you.
Hmm.
So there's nothing to follow. It's just relaxing more and more open to what already is here.
Hmm. It's not easy. But it's exciting. I want to try it.
Mm-hmm.
I've got witnesses.
That's right. That's right. Awareness is just so available. It's listening to everything. It is itself. It's what's here. It's revealing itself to itself. So, of course, it wants to live itself fully. And anything that appears to be in the way just gets, once it's understood. Not understood from a mind way, but understood that there's something else that can, another way of being with it all.
But if it's not understood in the mind, where is it? Where? I mean,
the part that just hears those words and says, "Oh yeah, without really knowing.
Hmm. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you for coming up here.
Well, I'm daring to do this.
I see that.
Is it?
Yeah.
Needs to be closer. Is that better? Is that all right now?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, all right. She timed now. Okay, thank you. As soon as you talked about things recurring, it struck a note with me, because that is probably the main issue going on with me now, is a problem. It seems like a problem. I don't know what else to call it that's reoccurring in my life right now. But then as I sat here, it's deeper than that. It's an issue that's been reoccurring in my life for a long time. What it seems to be, and it may be something much deeper, but what it seems like right now is the issue of mental illness in family members. And one in particular now. And the problem seems to be occurring in the form of obsessive thoughts, continually being repeated over and over again in phone calls on a daily basis, sometimes 3 or 4 phone calls. And trying to be there with awareness, trying all different kinds of things, trying to offer logic, trying to offer support, trying not to be angry and upset, but it is, at times it gets I get very tired of hearing this same thing, although there has been a diagnosed mental illness given. So I try to take that into consideration too.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things I had worked with in the past, I'm not now, is Course in Miracles, and they were talking about what we see, what's presenting itself could be a projection that's coming from me, so that if I look at it that way, then what's presenting itself obsessively in my son, there's something going on obsessively in me.
And can you find that?
What I'm finding is my frustration with this obsessiveness.
Okay, where is it, this frustration?
Between the heart and the solar plexus. It's a strong area, and I've been recently trying to get in touch with that feeling. I often wake up with it in the morning. It feels like fear a lot, though.
Mm-hmm. Is it present right now? You were able to point to it.
I know what it feels like. I don't feel it real strongly right now, but I do know what it feels like.
Okay, just bring up memory. Now,
okay.
See, memories are quite different too, because what I'm inviting is you're actually going to bring something that appears to be in a apparent past. You're bringing it present right now. We're doing it on purpose to provoke this energy alive.
Mm-hmm.
So imagine your son calling you
right
now with whatever.
Okay, the same old. Yeah, well, it happens so much, I can guess.
Is it here now? Can you feel that, the frustration in your body?
Okay, I've got it.
Okay. So relaxing open to frustration, letting frustration be here, 100%. Relaxing the rest of your body. Open. Letting it have its space.
Here's something that wants to do something.
It's okay.
With that.
So.
And instead of just being something, it feels like it needs to do something.
Okay. So feeling this part. This energy that appears just in these moments that wants to do something.
I've never been in touch with that before.
Okay.
But I see that's what comes up.
Okay. So feeling this now. Breathing.
It's an uncomfortable energy.
Yes. Uncomfortable happening.
Very.
It's okay.
Yeah.
And here you are, you're perfectly fine, right? And yet uncomfortable is happening.
Part is fine, but yeah.
Part of it doesn't want to feel. Part of you doesn't want to feel this. Or is it okay?
I can allow it, but it doesn't feel good.
Right.
And I don't like feeling it.
Okay. This is just what's been held away. So you're okay with feeling it now with me, once and for all? Just to feel it. Let go to it. Moving?
Yeah, it is moving.
Yeah.
Now there's almost like, I don't know, a feeling of joy there or something. How can that be if that's...
It's all love.
I don't know what love is. I keep trying to know what it is, but...
Joy is a flavor of love.
It is. The joy I can get in touch with.
Yeah,
I didn't know it was
lovely.
a flavor of love. It is. This is what's so ironic, because it's almost like some of what you were saying, whatever is in me is playing with these different feelings, and there can be, like, there was very uncomfortable feeling that was coming up, but then there's this joy, wonderful joy that appears at different times, and especially in my meditations. I was first introduced to it in Buddhist meditation. They had a name for it, or it was some sort of thing, and then I kind of forgot about it. And then all of a sudden it came spontaneously, and I realized it has to be true because I'm not doing anything. Where's this coming from? Nothing special was happening, but there was this.
It wasn't because of anything.
No, nothing, nothing. Just sitting there. In fact, I was sitting in my closet. I actually went in there because it gets very noisy where I live sometimes, and it bothers me. And I remembered the saying from Jesus, go in your closet and close the door. And actually, it can be a very helpful place because there's nothing to listen to. And I can open and listen to silence. And when I listen to that, that's when sometimes the joy comes.
Although here it seemed to come when you opened to frustration.
Yes, why did that happen? And normally when there's a phone call there, joy does not come.
Up until now, it hasn't happened.
The frustration comes. And
the frustration has come up until now. Because you don't know. Right?
Oh, no, it never happened before.
It's never happened before?
No.
And is it okay to...
It's like joy happens in meditation and in other situations. And frustration happens with a phone call.
Except for here, right? When you imagine.
Except for here.
So will you imagine again the phone call? And just let's see how frustration is doing now. What's happening?
There's a little bit of that wanting a metal coming up again. Something wanting to fix that voice on the other end so it isn't frustrated.
Oh, attempting to change.
Attempting to change.
Okay.
Maybe that's what it is. Yeah, I've got in touch with that again.
Yeah. So feeling that now, the desire to change something that's out of your control. Really, isn't it?
It is out of my control.
Right. You are actually helpless about this. And
boy, that's hard to...
Is that okay? Are you ready to feel helplessness? Just in this regard.
Oh.
That you're going to let him be whatever that is, whatever he is, however, the obsessiveness.
That's hard.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
So it's like relaxing, open, just recognizing that if there isn't control, there's...
Letting go of control then, and letting
go of control might mean feeling helpless. It's just for a few minutes, just while we're sitting here.
Helpless to his being, however, and that's my fear of his condition escalating, which it has at times. Will he get worse?
Yes.
And what will happen? And all the now there's fear coming up. The fears.
Yes.
Concerning all of what's going to be happening to him in the future.
Right.
This is now.
And so we're looking at
thing.
Right now, but we can use all of these details to relax, open. Right, because the frustration, and the attempt to want to change him isn't helping anything, is it?
No, and I know I can't.
Right.
A part of me, intellectually, I can know that. But on this energy level, I'm getting in touch with how much there's a very strong wanting to change things.
And that's based in?
Fear.
Love.
Oh, yes, it is love. Yeah, there is. Yeah. Oh, it's more than that. It's compassion for his suffering.
Right.
what he's telling me with every phone call is the suffering, and that's what's so hard to deal with. I know
Okay.
what he's saying.
So
Underneath
compassion,
it,
though,
yes.
compassion is quite a lovely thing to feel when it's just compassion without the attempt to control.
There's different now. I feel a very different feeling with compassion.
Yeah.
It's totally different.
Yes.
Totally different.
Right.
I can really feel that in my heart now.
Yes.
It's so different. It's
Yeah.
not at all. There's none of this wanting to control or anything there.
Absolutely. Yeah. So let's bring up the phone call again. He's phoning you,
Okay.
and he's saying the same thing that he's used to say up until now.
Mm-hmm. Oh, now there's compassion there. I don't think compassion was there ever before, or I don't think it was. This strong feeling to change isn't there now.
And what is here now?
Sometimes I get words, and the words that are coming along with this compassion now is, let him be what he is, or what he is, or it doesn't. However he is presenting, let it present as it is. Doesn't.
Totally makes sense. It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
But I'm having this is really changing my idea of what is. How can what is be presenting like that with so much suffering?
It's an invitation to look at it newly. Let go of control. He's given you a gift by calling you every time. Until you come now and you take a look, and look what happened. You got to feel helplessness at last. It's just very brief.
But how do I know it won't come back again?
You don't.
I don't.
You don't. Except for to play around like this, like saying, okay, now we're going to imagine him phoning you again. Right? So it's sort of, even though it's, we're making use of the details that have occurred so that we can check out energetically what responds.
You know, I think I've been trying to do this because he calls so much, but I don't know what we're doing here now, how to react with it and see what the different reactions are.
You don't have to remember anything.
Oh, okay.
Okay, you've already said it. Letting him be, right? And it's a learning, because the other way might be a little bit of a habit, and it might not. It might not even show up. You might pick up the phone and just feel pure compassion, and you'll find in that he may not even phone that often.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know, because you've moved with this energy over here. So,
but I don't know. We never know what the next moment will be, whether I will meet with compassion, or could frustration still be there.
That's
too.
right. And if it's compassion, it's pretty easy to be with compassion.
Compassion's easy.
Yes.
Compassion's
and
easy.
Isn't actually frustration, actually, now that you have explored this, isn't it actually fairly easy too?
Yeah, the one that I identified that I really was not in touch with was wanting to change.
Yes.
That's the strength of that. I never realized
that was sort of underneath the frustration, right? So there can be layers.
Yeah.
You felt this frustration, and the frustration exposed itself
because I can't
as
change
control.
this. There's a life
Yeah.
I want, and I don't think of myself as a strong person, but this is a very strong feeling like I want to change this.
Is it present right now?
Yeah, I'm in touch with how I have that in me that I didn't realize I had that in me.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
But it's okay, really, isn't it, to feel it, to notice that? And beautiful, admitting that to yourself.
It doesn't feel beautiful, no.
Oh, the honesty of it is so beautiful.
It sounds
It's very
weird, but
human.
it sounds very unspiritual.
Oh, my goodness. Then we're all unspiritual.
Like
I don't know about anybody else here, but I've
It's almost
certainly
like
had
this
my
is
play of
coming
wanting to
and
control.
pounding its fist, but I want it to be different. It's
That's
like, oh,
right. How human is that?
oh.
My goodness. Compassion towards yourself. Of course.
So compassion towards that wants, it's trying to.
Letting it be. How beautifully human.
So we're totally honoring the human as it presents itself.
That which rises includes this human being. And the beauty of being a human being is we get to be conscious of what's happening.
I think then maybe I have been confusing some of the things I've been reading, and maybe in the Advaita study that I've been doing, that when these things arise, I'm aware of them and I let them go. And I try to open to the emptiness or whatever is appearing at the time. And I now, in light of what we're talking about, it sounds like I'm manipulating that.
Well, that will work to a certain degree, right? It's like also the idea here, for me, the idea that there's an ego doesn't fit after a while, because when you look for one, where is it?
Right.
True, right?
But
for a while, people do
but what
need to
came
have
forth?
that contained.
What
Yeah.
if there is? That's true. I'm glad
Yeah.
you said that. There is
Yeah.
no ego in a sense. That much I know. But then what came forth with that strength of wanting its own way?
To me, it looks like love.
That looks like love.
Well, wanting it to be beautiful, wanting it to be a way that everybody feels good. It's easier.
Oh, that part is true. Yes, that much
Right.
I can very much relate
It's
to.
just how, instead of, love comes up but we want it to be
yes,
beautiful,
Yes, yes.
And so we can't change it, and then it's like, oh my goodness, and we get frustrated with that. And it's recognizing first that it does find its root in love.
Okay.
Right?
I guess I didn't see that part. I really didn't.
Yeah. And it's looking for it. That's all I've done is just look, how is this love? If I want to change this whole thing and I'm really upset with this, well, how is this love? And every time I've ever asked myself,
How is this?
eventually I can find it. I can find
Even
how
in
it
these
is.
difficult situations, how is this?
We're just
love?
not used to being
No.
open to frustration and irritation.
No,
We're
no, no.
we-
That's very new.
Yeah.
I'm just.
But that's
not-
collective, right? That's collective. Humans aren't very comfortable with being frustrated.
Right, right.
And so the response is to attempt to change something. So what I'm inviting is
Okay.
just relax with what is. This is acceptance of what is. What
Mhm.
is might be frustration if it's here. Opening to it, letting it have its space, and see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
And it won't repeat, any flavor of frustration. It won't, it's not like you're going to know what's going to happen
Right.
in
right.
opening to it.
Mm-hmm. But in the moment, just being in that openness.
Yeah, as soon as you can diagnose, oh, I'm frustrated. Perfect.
Yeah,
Oh, great. I get to be with frustration.
Yeah, you helped me identify those feelings more. They were there, but it's like I don't think they were
Where you're trying to get away from them. Yeah.
maybe getting away, or I didn't have a sense of them,
Yeah.
as clear a sense as I do now. That's it.
Yeah.
I have a clearer sense. So
Yeah.
when frustration, and especially this part that wanting to control.
Yeah. Now, those are in the book you just purchase.
Oh,
So
okay, good.
there's all sorts of little tidbits that are just directly like this, to sit down,
Oh, okay.
breathe, and open your body, give yourself space, and just feel what's actually occurring.
Okay. Do you believe that we're just guided automatically like this? I mean, like I came here and then you said this is in your book, and just before this, 2 days ago, a friend of mine recommended I read A.H. Almas's book, Unfolding Now, which is using some techniques like this.
Yeah.
And just, I'm trying to be open with where things are going.
I would invite you to no longer try, and instead allow.
Just allow
and
whatever.
invite.
Allow and invite. Okay.
See how much that feels better, doesn't it?
It does.
Allow
and invite.
Yeah, just
okay.
invite.
I've been allowing. I haven't been inviting though. That's a new one. Inviting.
Great.
Okay. Invite. See what happens.
Yeah. Beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you
so much. Yeah, I'm used to more going. This mic is here. Lovely. Is there anybody? You're going to let me know if there's somebody that I'm to... Okay. Well, just... If there's nobody there, that's good. I mean, well, no. Sorry, didn't mean to say that. There are people here. So, priority here to people who are present. That's what I'm meaning by that. So the space is available here. Somebody'd like to come up. With what's happened so far, with the people who've come up, can you relate to what they're speaking about?
Hi.
Hi. Actually, if you sit a little more over, just there's the camera right behind you. So
Okay.
there.
I could relate to almost everything that everybody said so far. Bits and pieces of, and I have to admit, I actually haven't read your life story yet, but I plan on doing it. But I have seen some videos.
It's not necessary.
I'm actually very curious now.
It's like a curiosity, you know.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But actually what you were saying before was really touching me, because I find myself very much in the same place or somewhere in this process of kind of letting go of all of this stuff that I thought I was, that I had actually worked quite a long time to build. And it's very much right now, I'm very much in this I don't know phase, where I'm feeling guided towards some things that are feeling strong, but it feels like a bit of a halfway place, because there's so much that is just kind of disappearing. And there's a real kind of relief and joy in that. But it's also like I'm like, I've just robbed the bank and my cab hasn't come yet. You know, it's like
you're in the gap.
I have no getaway car.
Yeah.
It feels like I'm not quite.
Robbed the bank. That's so cool. It's neat.
It feels like I understand that it's not about building something else.
Mm-hmm.
But it feels really new to be watching everything just kind of fall away. And Yeah, that, and to not have, it feels very naked actually. If like there's nothing that I'm really pulling in to replace it.
It reminds me of reading in John DeRuyter's book that the reason people don't wake up is because it's quite uncomfortable to be in this state of awareness. Everything's immediate, and it can be a rawness.
Yeah.
There's no way to separate any longer. So it's felt. And then there's just kind of a getting used to being that vulnerable.
Right.
Trusting yourself more and more as you kind of get the hang of just being this that you are.
Yeah. It feels there's some things that I have to kind of live out to a certain extent, and it feels when I'm in certain roles now that I used to feel very comfortable in, it feels very uncomfortable. And today I was feeling that, and it felt like a huge tension inside of my head. It felt like there was a big load of bricks in my head. I'm not sure if that was the tension of trying to keeping up appearances or going through the kind of necessary things I need to do in my day, or if it's this whole other part, like it just feels like there's this opening happening, and it feels like a dimmer switch is being turned up very slowly. Mm-hmm. Nothing like extraordinary, out of the ordinary, but it feels like a brightness is going up really, really gradually. And so sometimes it takes my breath away almost. But it also can feel like, it can flip and feel like an intense pressure. And maybe that's fear or something. I'm not sure.
Is it present right now?
The feeling I had before is still present. The
bricks?
Yeah.
Okay. Hello, bricks. Lovely. So what happens when you open to this feeling of the bricks? Letting them weigh everything.
It feels so disorienting, like I'm walking around blindfolded, or I'm doing something I've never done before.
And is that all right to feel that? Now that,
I suppose I have no choice.
Yeah, here it is.
Yeah,
you know, it's one thing I used to really catch myself on is like, oh, I can't stand this. And I'm like, wait a sec. It's already happening. I guess I am standing it.
I have too much of a choice.
Reality is it's here already, because I even registering it, it's here.
Yeah.
So I am actually standing it, if that's, you know. So the felt sense of bricks, where's that?
It's still here. It's like it makes me feel a little bit dizzy.
Mm-hmm. Right. And is it in relation to
you know, I thought I was feeling it earlier today because I had been working with people and doing the kind of stuff I usually do, and I thought it was just that kind of cumulative tiredness. But it feels in this moment like it's from the intensity of this, of all of this, you know, that we're talking
happening. About. Yeah. Does it feel okay?
Yeah. I mean, I welcome it. I'm not afraid of it. It's my own. I'm going into it.
Yeah.
I'm not resisting it.
Mm-hmm. And in this moment, that the bricks feel okay.
Yeah.
And they are present as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it doesn't seem to be related to anything you're doing or not doing then.
Not in the moment. Sometimes if I read something or listen to something in particular, it just sparks it in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Might be an idea or a discovery, and then I'll feel this kind of like it's almost like it gets to a new level and I'm not adjusted to it yet.
Mm.
I don't know. It's hard to describe. It's just like a feeling of being disoriented or a kind of head rush.
A head rush with bricks?
Yeah, I know.
Interesting. But yet,
yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's just lovely, you know.
Yeah.
I love asking people, what's happening? I mean,
yeah.
It's great. So you're comfortable with the bricks?
Yeah, I mean, I guess if I have to be completely honest, though, there has been a feeling of just like maybe like this last lady was saying, you know, there's a part of me that's afraid of this whole process, even though I'm at the same time going very willingly into it.
Okay, and where's this fear? You find it right now.
I think this is a fear. I think the fear is in here.
Okay. So also present is the felt sense of your body sitting in the chair. Yeah. Just really let the couch support you. You can let go to the couch. Really register that you're supported. Right here, support is happening. And what happens with the bricks?
It's still intensely felt, but there's a calmness.
Yeah. Because it sounds like sometimes all I've been able to do for myself sometimes is just to register, okay, I'm just this person, and this stuff's pretty wild, and I'm okay right here, right now. I'm all right.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And bringing in the felt sense of the body, and that I'm just this person. Everything's happening. It's okay. And then it sometimes I just.
Right.
It's not really consoling, but it's sort of bringing in the fabric of being human, and the okayness.
Yeah.
Sort of that I take myself in my arms and say it's all right. Even though it might be weird or uncomfortable.
Well, that's interesting that you say that, because I think there's a sense that I've been trying so hard and reading so much stuff, and what you just said about I'm just a person or just being human. I find it really easy to forget about that part. I just want to drop it all.
But not really, right? When you look at it, do you really want to drop it all?
No, I don't think so. I think there's this idea I have that it goes with the whole
spiritual. So,
yeah, and also it goes with a kind of overachieving. It's like I want to do this the right way.
Yeah.
I want to, or some idea that I have of something I heard, something I saw, thought I saw in someone.
Yeah. So it's sometimes just to notice that trying is happening.
Right.
And go, oh, okay, just trying is happening, and just,
Right.
see if it's still something still wants to happen. It's like allowing, I'll allow this to happen.
Right.
Because then there's no push on it. Just trying will always have a push. Will have some sort of demand. And in this living freely as its own self, awareness in expression of its own self, in freedom, there's no pushing, no demand.
Right.
It's just kind of going with what is, innocently.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Bring some male energy into this.
There wasn't any male energy. Yeah. You're not going to use that?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I've heard Papaji, say stop, and intellectually I can understand that, but it's really hard for me to emotionally or really enter. How do you stop?
What's happening right now?
I feel my body.
Mm-hmm. Gravity, yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Hear a buzz in my ears.
Mm-hmm. Have you stopped? Are you going anywhere right now?
I still have thoughts.
Thoughts are happening. Are you engaging in the thoughts or just noticing them?
Just noticing.
Mm-hmm. And stop is an interesting word because it implies everything is supposed to stop.
Mm-hmm.
When it cannot stop. The expression of self is a movement, is a play. The whole fabric of, right, that there's all this blood running, energies and felt sense, thoughts, and awareness is aware of it all, this movement. So his invitation is just to not be attempting to go somewhere. Stop and be with what is. As far as I hear that word, I actually, I imagine he'd find it quite humorous if I attempted to speak for him. Papa G, I mean. He's right here.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I saw that.
Yeah. So he's very close, inside and out. And I know him from a felt sense of love. I don't really know his teachings. I haven't read. I have one tape where I'm hearing his voice, but it's about devotion, his own devotion. Only recently have I seen a couple of videos of people being with him and what he might say.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just being honest, I don't really have any knowing there, except for the felt sense of love that feels to be his particular flavor that is very much alive here with me. And then gratitude comes as well. So this is what I know of Papaji.
Yes.
So he's here.
I know he enlightened many others. It seemed that
He supported people to realize that awareness is revealing itself to awareness in each moment.
So I know the other thing that brings me fear is often fear can often be a great motivator. I mean, a lot of the success that I've experienced in life is, when I think back, what was
Instigator.
It was often fear that, it was a fear of failure, the fear of, and when you get down, or when I sort of peel the onion back, that it actually comes down to that fear of dying. I mean, when you got, many times way down deep, the fear is that if you don't succeed, you will die. I mean, that's what the
Survival.
real raw emotion
Survival.
is.
Yeah,
it's way down there, but it's...
Yeah. So what, is there fear present right now?
No.
No. Oh well. Is there fear of death if you look for it right now? No. Yeah, after a while of being in life, it can be that you suddenly see that you're going to survive. You throw yourself into enough quandaries that you get to realize that, what, I guess there's going to be enough money, there's going to be enough food, I'll be able to provide shelter for myself. Ah, okay. And then perhaps there can be something else that shows up. If there's no need to survive.
And we'll all one day die. At least our body will.
And there can be an invitation to die to yourself, yet still live. If a person finds that attractive. In this, letting go of the world 100%. Letting go of whatever a person thinks they are. Bowing to that part that's bigger than all of that and yet encompasses it all. And how that let go shows up is unique to each person.
So is that freedom that you're talking about?
Give it a try. Yes. Energies still happen, but you're no longer being yanked around by any kind of outside rule. Life is lived as it is. And everything that's let go of shows up newly beyond what you could imagine. But we don't know how that's going to be. It needs to just be let go of, and without knowing that either you're going to actually really truly die mortally, or that there may not be all of this stuff, the fabric, third dimensional stuff. And you'll lead yourself to that if that's what's up. So it's just okay. If that's, just allowing it to come your way however it does.
Thank you. 5 to 9. Okay. I was just going to say that, we started a little bit late because traffic was pretty sketchy apparently tonight. So
Hi.
See, hi. See how time was your friend in that moment.
Yeah, right.
Oh, 5 to 9.
5 to 9. I only have 5 minutes, so I better get it all out.
Does anybody have to leave right at 9? No, you're okay if we go a little over. Okay.
So I could relate to a lot here about control and wanting to have the outcome, and then and writing the dance and the anxiety of, is it going to actually work out or not going to work out? So I kind of appreciated some of the comments of just kind of being with that feeling and see, and not, I don't know. Anyway, so that's, I guess there's a lot of anxiousness in my life because I don't sleep well. And
is it present right now?
yeah, wouldn't it be nice to be present now? So like I probably could think of something.
You could rile some up?
I could rile some up, right. Yeah, I could rile some up.
So yeah, from a place that repeats itself, right?
Yeah. It's kind of right in my gut.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. It's all right to just open to that then.
Oh yeah, it's
Yeah.
all right. I mean, it's been there, and
so opening to it and feeling it though.
Yeah, it's always been interesting because I've always tried to get rid of it. It's like, and try to say, okay, well, to try to transform it, the energy into something else, and instead of just sitting with like the frustration or the anxiety, and then I try to conjure up a sense of peace and just sit with that.
Yep.
Yeah. Or like at night, if I'm anxious about all these things that I want to get accomplished, because I'm an accomplisher. I got my list and gotta get it off the list.
You have been up until now.
You're opening up a new possibility. If you open to the possibility,
is that all right?
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah. So, well, because there's this fear too of forgetting. You know, I made a commitment to somebody, and then right now I'm thinking about couple of things I didn't write down today that I told people I would go and
so
take
this
care
creates
of.
some anxiety. Yeah.
Right, because it's like, what if I forget?
Beautiful. Okay, beautiful. So let's be with this part about these things that have been forgotten, and here you are here now, and you can't take care of them.
Right,
because
they're coming up. I'm thinking of them, and I don't have a pencil to write them down.
No,
and then forget about them.
Yeah,
then I can forget about them until tomorrow.
But how perfectly forgotten.
Yeah.
Because now it's given the perfect opportunity for anxiety to rise because something's been forgotten, and this is something that many people can relate to. Oh, I forgot. Oh no.
Right, that wasn't my word.
Yeah.
I told him I'd do that, and I didn't do it.
Yeah. So let's feel this for everybody. Right.
So it's like twisted in your
stomach.
You know, just I don't know. I get it right, like in here, just below my sternum, and it gets twisted in there.
Okay, so it's just feeling that. Is there a color to it, as it's here right now?
Is there a color to it? I don't know. If I said something not right now, I just make it up. You want me to make it up? Red. That's the first thing that came to my mind.
Right, and so that out of the blue, red
out
comes.
of the blue, red showed up.
Right. So then feeling the couch support you here and just breathing and relaxing open the rest of your body. It's almost like you could invite the cells of your body to just relax open, to give this red, perhaps red, energy some space to twist and turn.
You know, there's another place too that I always feel it. And I think it's in my head, and it's always because I got to figure it out.
Right.
You know, so there's this mental part of it that I gotta fix it, and I gotta figure it out, and then how am I gonna
which is beautiful,
message?
Because you're curious, right?
Yeah.
How am I going to figure this out? So this figuring out can be an allowing it to be here, and it'll figure itself out. The anxiety itself will figure itself out if we leave it some space.
But I still need to write it down, because otherwise it might go out the window.
You want the anxiety to remind you.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's right. If anxiety's not here, you might really forget.
Yeah,
again, you'll forget again, and you've broken your word. Oh, my goodness. So which would you like? Would you like to keep the anxiety as a friend that reminds you? or would you like to see what it's about?
Okay.
Which is stronger?
I guess I'd like to see what it's about, because maybe I'll be open to the possibility that I don't have to experience it in that way to remember.
Yeah. Right.
So.
And if things are forgotten, what I find is that there's nothing holding on to anything. So if I do write things down, then that is a support to remember. But what I don't remember, or what gets somewhat neglected, usually isn't necessary.
Mm-hmm. Okay, but if you told somebody you were going to do something, and then that to me...
And if you meet them with the truth and say, you know what, when it came down to it,
I forgot about it.
I totally forgot about it, and like in the complete honesty.
I mean, I do that. I do forget about things, and I do tell people I'm not a cover-up artist. I'm a believer in just tell them frankly. Frankly, I forgot that appointment. I really apologize.
Yeah.
I'm giving you an opportunity to express forgiveness.
Great.
So there's a couple of, instead of saying I'm a jerk, I really messed up, didn't show up.
So what's true? Which one do you really believe? Do you believe you're a jerk for forgetting?
Well, I always
just a smidgen,
that's the underlying. But I work with languaging. So for example, there's another thing. I work with languaging. I always say 3 heads are better than 1, so that if I don't understand something, then I miss something, and then somebody reminds me, then I don't get upset and feel like I'm stupid. So I go, 3 heads are better than 1. So I make up these little sayings,
yes,
to kind of not go into the territory of feeling stupid or dumb or
would you like to?
I can't believe I forgot that, kind of thing.
Would it be okay to feel stupid or dumb?
I guess I'm always trying to get away from that.
Right. So is that all right? Like, which would you prefer, anxiety or stupid or dumb? What flavor?
What flavor?
Let's see that one again.
Right, because we're like from a child, oh, don't be so stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So if somebody's, they're already judgment that there's something stupid happened.
Mm-hmm.
So it's already there. So you can't really take it away once it's already been happened anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes it's just great to release and relax into stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Because then you're not holding yourself away from anything.
So either one would be fine, stupid or dumb or anxiety. It doesn't matter.
Okay, what's most present?
What's most present? Anxiety probably more present.
Yeah. Okay, so let's just rest open to this.
Okay. So yeah, I definitely would like to not hold the tension in my head.
Okay.
Of that, I've got to remember this, or I have to figure this out.
Okay, so one thing at a time.
Okay.
One happening at a time.
Okay.
Right? Because it's like it jumps. It's like you land with it, and then it jumps to, oh, wait a moment, there's this other thing.
Mm-hmm.
Very quick. So it's just noticing that mechanism. Right? And then just going, oh, right, no.
So maybe it's uncomfortable, so I go to another.
Let's work on something else, yeah.
Yeah, we're on something else.
Yeah. That's what it looked like, yeah.
Okay.
And, you're the authority on you. It's just, that's how it appeared from here. And so we're just going to go, oh, right. Anxiety is just waiting to welcome us to be with this energy called anxiety.
But kind of energy is energy. Now it's kind of shifting.
Mm-hmm.
And it feels really good. It's feeling really warm and just kind of radiating out.
Mm-hmm. And just relaxing even more open to this energy.
And that's even getting to my head, too. Where it's just opening and just kind of, the energy is just kind of spreading out. Mm-hmm. Instead of being like that.
Okay. And just breathe and feel this. And now allow the thought to come in. I forgot these things, what happens?
It's no big deal.
Does anxiety show up?
Mm-mm.
Not at all.
No.
Okay.
I'll just write it down when I leave.
Mm-hmm. And so sometimes the forgetting and whatever it is that caused the anxiety actually happens to cause the anxiety. So we feel it.
Oh, so in other words, you get kind of used to that energy of anxiety, so then you kind of create things to fuel it?
Well, the opportunity is just to feel it. So sometimes what we do is we provoke ourselves.
Or create circumstances so that we can feel the anxiety.
Yeah, from a bigger place.
So maybe that's our way of kicking ourselves in the rear end to get motivated. Maybe we'll...
Wow, she's back in the accomplishment here. Yeah, I know, Taskmaster.
Yeah, right, the Taskmaster.
Okay, that's
got the whip.
Brum, brum. What's that mechanism? That's what, that whole thing. Am I inviting myself to anxiety so I work harder?
Yeah, right, conflict manipulation on yourself.
Oh, it's for healing. For healing. For allowing more and more of who you are. Right?
Mm-hmm. I mean, I definitely like to do things. I mean, I'm an accomplisher. I love to cook, and I love to make things happen.
So it's wonderful to love, and it's just taking the push off.
Mm-hmm.
It's just taking that push, the part that pushes and says, "Oh, I've got to do this," and and there's a bit. There can be. I don't know. You tell me if it's true, but there can be a bit of an addiction to that.
Oh yeah, I mean, and the mind can make up infinite amount of tasks, so that so then you can really pack it in more and more, and then you can.
Even in these few minutes, we've noticed this.
Yeah, right. I call it the hurry disease.
Right, and there is no time, right? So you've got all the time in the world. There is no rush.
Mm-hmm.
How many lifetimes have we all lived? Who knows? So it's just relaxing, letting yourself land just here, just now. And if something comes and attempts to engage, to go after it, then just to see and invite. What happens if I don't follow that right now? If I just sit still, just stop. How does that feel?
Feels great. Just letting the couch support me.
Yeah.
Just feeling, sitting into it, kind of sinking into it. Yeah, I don't feel so tired. So I was feeling really tired.
Mm-hmm.
Like, really, should I come over here or not? I'm kind of exhausted. It's been a long day. And feeling a little bit guilty because I was late. But then also there was dinner and having an ambiance of eating versus just inhaling the food and then racing over here to be on time. Mm-hmm. So I was like kind of trying to dance with it all.
Yep. It's all right. It's all right.
So that's what I figured would be okay.
It ended up being okay. The timing was perfect.
Mm-hmm.
So you're welcome to join us Saturday and Sunday. I know you have stuff that you've committed to too, but this to practice this stopping.
Okay.
There's a container here that supports that.
Oh, great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you very much. All right. So any little tidbits that are up, just bits that want to be shared that I like to leave a space for little bits Is there something that's popped up?
Well, I enjoy it.
Yeah.
It's nice to be around women. Nice girls talk
happy you're able to come be with us here. You ready to sing a little bit?
Yeah, I can sing.
Yeah? Yeah? Great. So I like to...
My dog.
Oh, yeah.
Dog loves it.
Yeah.
Birds love it.
Whoa, it's getting warm out here.
Yeah. So this song is a song that you're singing to yourself. The words are very simple. It's come, come, whosoever you are. So unconditionally, however it is you show up in any moment, you're singing this to your own self when we're singing this. And so just join in as you know the words. But yeah, it's not about how it sounds or anything. It's like you inviting more of your own self alive, here to be in life, revealing itself to itself. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So join in with this song if you feel to. Everything I invite is an invitation, not a should or a task or an invitation, if it feels right. Come, 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 whosoever you are. Come, 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 whosoever you are. And even though you may have broken your vows 1,000 times, and even though you may have broken your vows 1,000 times, come, 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 whosoever you are. Come, 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 whosoever you are. And even though you may have broken your vows 1,000 times, and even though you may have broken your vows 1,000 times, come, 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 whosoever you are. Come, 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 whosoever you are. And even though you may have broken your vows 1,000 times, and even though you may have broken your vows 1,000 times, love, 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 whosoever you are. Love, 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 whosoever you are. Thank you all for coming tonight.
Thank you. Thank you.
And you're welcome to join us. It deepens.